Hi everyone, this is a collective tarot reading for the full moon in Aries on October 17th, and it is aimed at lightworkers, so if you want more peace, love, health, and wealth in the world, you are who I am reading for. Got my Astro Matrix tarot deck with me because of course I do. I'm going to do a 7-card horseshoe spread because of course I am. And as always, I have 3 oracle cards to the side. You can pick which 1, 2, or 3 resonate with you the most because of course I do. Let's cut the deck and see what we have. I can't add it because, of course, joke on that. All right, let's do it. So as always, I'm going to turn over all 7 cards. So in the past, we have the Page of Swords reversed. Present, we have the Page of Coins reversed, my favorite page. Known factors, we have Temperance reversed. We collectively are the 5 of Coins reversed. Very interesting. Let's see if the future is upright. Unknown factors is the 3 of Wands. Advice is the Moon. Very funny. And the future is the Chariot reversed with the 8 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Longtime viewers who are familiar with tarot probably have a good idea of what is about to come, but just in case there's something non-obvious here, I'm going to stare at these cards a bunch. I'm going to make these look good in the shot, and I'll see you right now. So I don't have that much to say about these 2 pages that won't be covered by talking about everything else, because in the last reading for the eclipse, I remember a recent reading that I gave where the theme of clarity over what one's role is in all this is. And I think that the overall vibe of this message is to it's an invitation to take action despite not being sure what the outcome will be. If the only cards in the entire thing that are upright are the 8 of Coins 8 of Cups underpinning everything, the 3 of Wands in the unknown factors, and the Moon as an advice card, this is very navigating with uncertainty is the strong theme of all of this. And I think that the uncertainty comes from because something I said recently, it was probably the last reading, honestly, but what I said was when you know where you're going and you know what the next 1 or 2 steps are, there's a kind of confidence that comes with that. However, if you're at the beginning of the process, then the frustration of feeling like the next couple steps aren't bringing you close enough to your goal can start seeping in. So yes, the what is mine to do thing might be clear, but the actual manifestation of it it's an entire process of its own, which is again hinted at by the Temperance reversed in the presence. Obviously there's an unsettled nature to this entire thing. Everything is reversed except for these 3 cards, so it's pretty clear that the block, glitch, delay aspect of reversed cards, the way I read them anyway, is in not in full force, but in about 60% strength. I actually did some approximate math. It was bugging me too much. But coming back to what I was saying, the delayed gratification that is implied very heavily in the Chariot reversed in the incoming energy here is another aspect that's coming strong into the overall message here. And before I forget to mention it again, I don't have that much to say about the 5 of Coins reversed. I don't think that it matters whether or not you're the church or whether or not you're one of the 2 beggars walking in front of the church. I think that the theme that is prevalent to the 5 of Coins, where it is now in this reading for this moment, is the theme of helping each other out through hard times, because the hard times part is probably obvious, but the helping each other out part might not necessarily be, because again, when we're all frustrated about not being close enough to our goal, or we're all being impatient, then the ways in which we can help each other out are less obvious because we're too busy being frustrated to think creatively on how to, combine our skills and resources and all that shit. So that is something to be on the lookout for. But ultimately, like, this is the Chariot, even though it is reversed. And I think that with the Moon here as the advice card upright, I'm going to say the thing that I say literally every time, which is when you're on the verge of a breakthrough, that's when the little creepy crawly voices or the negative self-talk will be at its loudest. I associate the negative self-talk shit more with the devil than the moon, but the moon is a card of like hidden information, subconscious drives, sometimes things coming to light in the night, but the night isn't the time of day that we associate with brightness, so even that is unusual in and of itself. It's surrounded by the darkness. So yeah, and again, the in the traditional card, there's a mountain in the middle of this. Now it's a river that's going all the way through the middle of the card, so that's fine too. But the message here of the river flanked by this dog and this wolf here is one of navigating through the fears and subconscious drives that can be yanking you on either side, So, and again, it's it's easy to lose track of the fact that we are still at the beginning of this process. With the Three of Wands here, even though it's upright, it's in the unknown factors. So that is something that you're being invited to come to mind. But ultimately, as long as you keep one foot in front of the other and be patient, keep your eye on the prize. And if you know what your next steps are, as frustrating as it might be to not be where you want to be now, that's where you can tap into the magic that is available to you now so that you can actually get to the Chariot in the future. That was a mic drop. I'm going to end the reading there. If you liked your reading, please give this video a like. And it is time for the Oracle card portion. So if you chose the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, your card is Fulfillment. This is Saturn in Sagittarius. Let me stare at this for a moment. Yeah, with Saturn and Sagittarius, this is definitely the be patient meme times 100. Like, what I like about this, because Saturn is the planet of long term, among other things. But what drew my attention immediately, I'm not making any sense of this shit. It's the guy sitting on this block with this huge bag of money here, watching the ship sail in, kind of a link to the Three of Wands, or at least the traditional one. Here, these are like modern ships and a plane, but whatever. It is the aspect of long-term fulfillment is what you are being invited to contemplate, whether it is, are you sure you're thinking about the long term? Are you sure you're not being too impatient and thinking that you should be further along than realistically your current situation dictates that you should be, given how long you've been working at, however long you've been working at what you're working on. I hope that made grammatical sense. So yeah, try to keep that long-term vision in mind. If you chose the Moon Oracle, your card is Competitiveness. This is the first quarter fire moon. Let me just... And I'm going to stare at this. Okay, this is going to be really interesting. So for starters, y'all know I like to do the sky mathing. The next first quarter fire moon is going to be somewhere around Christmas when the sun is in Cap and the moon will be in Aries. But as far as the actual reading of the sign, this is an interesting one. And given the type of person that is usually associated with the word lightworker, the dark aspect of this card that I am about to appeal to might actually be relevant, because one thing that even I often say this in these videos or other videos on this channel about the not comparing yourself to others, which is a recipe for disaster. It's also basically the default mode of social media in general. But maybe for you, comparing yourself to others might be what the unlock is, might be what might push you to take action despite it not being clear what the result will be. Because sometimes you know, the old why does this person have the result that I want when they've been working at it for a fraction of the time that I have, and they're further along than I am. What gives? And that can sometimes give you the drive to actually experiment and to actually push through the doubt. So try to keep that in mind as long as it pushes you through action, and try to make sure you're not actually planting a seed of resentment and nurturing that, because I don't think that kind of thing would be worth the extra boost that you might get from the dark energy, if you will. Of course, if you don't have to communicate with this person after the fact, I mean, hey, you do what you got to do. But you know, sometimes we run into people later in life. I'll put it that way. If you chose the Wisdom of the Oracle, your card is Time to Go. Listen, given the, I'll actually stare at this card before. I was about to punt it, but I'll stare at it a little before probably punting it anyway. Yep, I'm totally punting, because the illustration is some angel fairy looking thing walking down a path. Given the stuff that I said in this, the taking action despite not knowing what the result will be, is, you know, how much longer can you wait? How much more perfect can your plan be? A very common trap that people fall into is perfectionism. And let me tell you, as professional as my setup might look like to people who haven't made much content before, let's be real, it was even worse before. The first video that I shot for this channel that you are watching on, I didn't even have a tablecloth for my kitchen table. And yeah, it was kind of a mess. You know, had I waited to perfect the plan, you might not even be watching this video now. So try to imagine what kind of 2025 or 2026 that you want, and the time to take steps, or at least to, you know, experiment a little, is probably now if you chose this card. And that's a good somber note to end on. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give this video a like. I hope y'all have a great full moon in Aries. Y'all take care. I'll see you soon.